And here we're going to talk about visibility graphics, and we're going to use a ceiling plan to kind of combine a couple of lessons. So what we want to do is go to a ceiling plan. Let's go to our third floor ceiling plan. From our previous lesson on setting the current work plane, you can see that our viewer button is now available. So now what we're going to do is I'm just going to move this off to the side and demonstrate here that when you open up the workplane viewer, it reads the visibility graphics of the current view, which is also setting the workplane. Okay, so what I'm going to do in this particular view is I'm going to go visibility graphics on the keyboard, VV. Okay, or you can go up and pick it on the ribbon, and inside of there I'm going to turn ceilings off in this ceiling plan. Okay, you can also go in through view and then pick on here visibility graphics overrides. Okay, VV or VG on the keyboard. So I've turned ceilings off in this view. So in the meantime, I'm going to go back here to home, and then I would also add this to my keyboard shortcuts, by the way. Click on there, toggles that on. Goes to here, and inside of there I can either show the grid or don't show the grid. Shift middle mouse button, okay, and swivel around, and I can grab this section box and I can pull this out a little bit. Normally it reads the crop region. I'm not sure what's going on with this particular view, but I'm just going to pull this out a little bit. So now it's in the workplane viewer. It's showing me the crop region and also the view range, and it's capturing the ceiling stuff, but you'll notice that the ceilings, the visibility of the ceilings, are not on. So if I type in VV right now, I don't get anything on the keyboard. I can't go into visibility graphics from within this this viewer. If I go up here to view, I've now left this, okay? And then if I wanted to go, oh, look, still not available. I have to go in here, click, and now make this my current window, and now I can type VV or visibility graphics, and I can turn my ceilings back on. Okay, move this over, hit OK. Okay, and what's happened? Oh, this isn't refreshed. Click in here. Can I get it to refresh? I hit an F5 on the keyboard, not refreshing. So maybe there's a toggle for it, but what I do is I close this off and then open it again. That's why I need to have a shortcut key for this, because it's way over to the right here. And I open this back up again, back inside. Oh, click on here, shift middle mouse button, and all of a sudden you'll notice that my ceiling objects are now back and visible inside of here. So visibility graphics has to be done from one of your regular windows, and this the workplane viewer has to be closed and reopened to refresh, unless someone else has a tip for me on that. Okay, so inside of that, there's our ceiling plan, which might be nice. We can go inside of here and pick on the top view. Okay, and then also we can swivel around these views around, and then we can get in. We can grab this, pull it around, zoom in, and work on our objects. If we pick on a ceiling object and pick on here and we say edit boundary, click, okay, it lets us go in and edit this. Now watch this. Here's something interesting. Let's just exit this. Okay, click out. Let's go back to a 3D view here. Pick on something, shift middle mouse button. Okay, zoom out a little bit. Once again, this is nice in its own independent window. So zoom in. If you pick an object like a floor or stairs or window or a roof or something, you select it and you say edit boundary from in here, it'll open up the sketch mode, and it also puts you perpendicular to the work plane. We're starting to get into some of the tips when we start to do custom families and stuff. That's the beautiful part of this, is when you go in to edit a profile in a family, there's no more trying to figure out how to get a good view of that profile. Your 3D viewer is always going to reset you perpendicular within here, and now we can get in and edit this. Now this is just a ceiling, but if you take complex 3D families And when you go in to edit the sketch of something within that family, all of a sudden this window goes zap and resets you to be perpendicular. And this is where I said some of the challenges have been where I wish I had my old UCS command, but this has now fixed this. So I can freely edit this as I please. I'm now just back to doing regular Revit, and when I finish, I close this off, click out, and I'm out. Okay, so the work plane viewer, that's the key, is I was editing something within that work plane viewer. Okay, let's try that on editing the profile of a wall. What if we pick on this wall and we say edit profile? Okay, it's going to say pick an elevation. So we can go pick, the east elevation. Open up that view and we can go in and edit the profile of this. Okay, what happens if we go here now, home, and pick our viewer? We're in the middle of editing the profile of a wall. All of a sudden, edit profile opens up, pick out, and it goes perpendicular to that wall. And it shows you that profile inside of there. Okay. So I pick on this guy, shift middle mouse button, all of a sudden, it was showing me back through the other side. Okay, so I might have to go in here and reset this to be sideways like this. So it was flipped around 180 degrees there, so you do have to kind of check that sometimes. But it will automatically reset this 3D view to be perpendicular. Once again, this is easy because it's a flat wall sitting right on the grid line. When we get into more complicated 3D objects, all of a sudden this becomes very handy. Quit sketch. Yes, I will. Click out and back to my 3D view here. So there's a little tip on the visibility graphics as well as the ceiling plan itself.